List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. And in this episode, we're going to be exploring number 59 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, the 100 Greatest Love Stories of All Time.
All right, number 59 is Picnic, directed by Joshua Logan, released in 1955, starring William Holden and Kim Novak.
The synopsis for this romantic drama is as follows. On Labor Day 1955, vagrant Hal Carter, played by William Holden, arrives by freight train to visit his old friend Alan Benson in an unnamed Kansas town. While staying with kind elderly Helen Potts, Hal meets the neighbors, the Owens. Madge Owens, played by Kim Novak, is Alan's girlfriend. Alan, happy to see his old fraternity buddy, shows Hal his family grain operation and offers him a job as a wheat scooper. At the town Labor Day picnic, Hal divides his attention between Madge, her younger sister Millie, and middle-aged schoolteacher Rosemary, who is attending the party with Howard Bevins. All three women end up fighting over Hal. Alan blames Hal for the mess and says he's ashamed he brought Hal in the first place. Hal escapes into the darkness as a crowd forms. Madge follows Hal to Alan's car and gets in with him. On the drive, he tells her about his past as a juvenile delinquent. They kiss. Outside her house, they promise to meet the next evening. Hal returns to Alan's with the car, but Alan wants him arrested for theft. Hal flees with Alan's car and ends up at Howard Bevins, who is sympathetic and allows him to stay. The next day, Howard goes to the Owens house. It is misconstrued as him being there to propose to Rosemary. He goes along with it, secretly telling Madge Hal is hiding in the car. Hal is able to slip away to the shed during the wedding talk and is joined by Madge. He tells her he loves her and to come with him to Tulsa, where he'll find work and they can marry. Mrs. Owens finds them and threatens to call the police. Hal and Madge kiss and embrace, and he catches a passing freight train. Millie tells her sister to do something bright for once in her life and go after Hal. Madge packs a bag and, despite her mom's tears, boards a bus for Tulsa.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, this movie felt very dated.
Yeah, it really did.
It really did. And it felt like it was like a knockoff of, like a Steinbeck movie. Like East of Eden.
Yeah, like Steinbeck Light, where there isn't a lot of the context that goes into it. My biggest problem, and I'm having this problem a lot, especially with these classic movies, is they really rely on the audience just being completely enamored by these actors instead of the characters actually, coming across the page. Like, we're supposed to believe that these two fall in love like in an afternoon.
Yeah, isn't that though, like, for this time, this was 1955, wasn't that the time where it was like you had these huge movie stars and they just put them in a ton of movies, no matter what it was?
That was like the old Hollywood system, pretty much 30s, 40s, 50s, is they were under contract for the most part, and they just put them in all kinds of movies. And
I think that was William Holden's case, probably.
Yeah, and let's talk about William Holden. Great actor. He's like in his mid-30s here, and he's playing like a guy who's just
out of college.
Pretty much just out of college. He's not a young-looking 35.
No, he's not.
He's a mature-looking 35.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he looks like an old man, but he's certainly, like, he has very, like, 90210 kind of vibes.
Yeah, where he's like a 35-year-old playing a
teenager.
20-something. Yeah.
I mean, it really comes across to me. They have pretty good chemistry.
Yeah, they do. Kim Novak and him, yeah.
But again, it's like these stories where people like fall in love like
immediately.
It's just like it's so
weird.
It just doesn't happen that way in life. And to have them fall in love with this guy, like I honestly I buy it more if like the dude's rich. Like, because honestly,
he really, and like, when you like the typical like stereotypical thing is women fall in love with like bad men, like bad guys, bad boys.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's what they were trying to come off with this.
But he's really not a bad boy.
He is kind of a bad boy, but he's not at all interesting.
Yeah.
And he's not smart, and he's just
he's not edgy, let's say, like.
Yeah,
like
he's not edgy. He's not, like, cool, like she's bad boy.
Like, she's dating Alan because Alan's the successful guy,
and her mom kind of is forcing that upon her, basically.
It's getting manipulated, and she's kind of going along with it, because if you're going to have to marry someone, you might as well marry the guy who's the heir to the big grain fortune.
And her mom was a big influence on her in that, because her mom's like, I want to get out of here. I want to live in the nicer part of town.
Right.
Like, you need to marry rich, and this is your ticket to that, is with Alan.
So that all makes sense, but the alternative, the guy that she falls for, he's a freaking hobo.
He's like the definition of hobo.
He's literally a hobo. I mean, he just like goes town to town on a train. Like, we see him, like, he's like bathing, like, in the
sewer water.
Yeah, we were laughing because it's either like sewer water or industrial runoff, and he's just like bathing in it. And we're like, oh, he must smell fantastic.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, no, yeah.
It's like, it just like, that's the guy. It
doesn't make sense.
This guy has no prospects. He's not interesting. He's not edgy. There's nothing that would like make me believe, oh, this young girl is captivated by this guy.
Now, I could understand why her younger sister, who's like 17, 18, probably, is kind of into him. Yeah. Because he pays a lot of attention to her. Right. He treats her like kid sister, and I think she finds that, like, oh, this older man is, like, attracted to me, and she kind of falls for him. So I understand that.
Yeah, and I can even understand, the cougar, like...
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, younger guy.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. But, like, the one that's, like, actually age-appropriate for him, that's the one I don't really quite get. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why Kim Novak's character would fall. So, to me, it's like, I don't understand why the age-appropriate one is the one who ends up falling for him, because he's not a great prospect on any level. And yes, he's something of a contrast to the guy that she's going out with now, but in a bad way.
In a really bad way.
Not in a good way. Like, in a bad way. Like, they both went to college together, they were in the same frat together, and one's a complete fuck-up, and the other one is reasonably successful. And, it's not like he's a bad guy or anything like that. No, he
treats her really well.
Treats her well.
His family doesn't like her because she's from the wrong side of the tracks, right?
But he's ignoring that because he likes her.
Yeah.
And he's treating her well. So it's not one of those situations, too, where you're kind of, like, rooting for her to go with the other guy.
Yes, at all. You're like, why are you doing that?
It's just kind of a weird story.
It's a very weird story. Not only that, it's, like... extremely dramatic at times, where it was like, whoa, like
the music,
like
over the top.
I thought maybe this is gonna be like a suspense.
Yeah, the music at times, it's like it's got this like sinister overtone to it. And we're like, what is gonna happen in this movie?
I'm like, is somebody gonna kill somebody? Because it's like really drastic. And then when something happens, like, she starts crying or whatever, it's like, oh my god, like, it's so over the top. And it's like, okay, calm down, everybody. It's, so it was a lot. I didn't really enjoy it at all.
I didn't care for it either.
I didn't, and
like you said, like they were clearly trying to kind of evoke something that wasn't really there on the page.
No,
and I think this one might mostly be missed in the writing.
Yeah.
Because, the camera work, all that's fine. It's just, I don't care about either of these characters. I care more about her than I do about him. Like, I don't care about him, like, at all.
Well, I mean, maybe it's also the way they were directed to play them as well. Like, who knows?
Possible, yeah.
I wonder what... I would love to hear from people who, like, are of that age to where they saw that movie like for the first time when it was released, and kind of see like what their thoughts were on it.
Yeah.
Just to see if they were like, oh wow, this is, you know, or if they were like, wow, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's just, you know, generational.
It's
I
possible,
don't know.
but it really didn't age well. So I gave this one a 50. Jerry gave it a 22. She had a lot of problems with the portrayal of the female characters in this one, rightfully so. The list score is therefore 36. So I don't have anything more to say on this one, do you?
I don't really either. But you know what? Check it out if you want to see what the drama was all about. So yeah, check it out. Let us know if you've seen it. If you're one of those people of the generation we were talking about, if you want to make a comment, please do. We'd love to hear from you. If you would like to contact us through email, please contact us through ratingthelist@gmail.com. I guess that's it for now.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We're Rating the List. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.